What We Never Planned, Episode 2. Before the word existed. There is a particular kind of silence that comes after someone is called by the wrong name, not by a stranger, by someone who has always known the name, who gave them the name, who said it 10,000 times before the day they said someone else instead. If you have been in that room, or if you have never been there and can already feel why the silence is different from any other, this is that silence. It is not the silence of a pause. It is a silence of a rearrangement. Something shifts, and the rest of the visit, you pretend it did not, because she is still your mother, and she is still in the room. And the alternative to pretending is something neither of you can bear yet. I want to tell you about someone. She is in her late 50s. She still works full time. She drives 40 minutes each way to visit her mother 3 evenings a week. Her mother lives alone in the house she has lived in for 40 years. The house is full of the objects of a life. A sewing table that she never uses anymore, photographs on the windowsill, a smell that is just home. She drives those 40 minutes to have dinner, to sit for a while, to make sure she does not call it caregiving. Nobody uses that word. They use visiting and checking in and just making sure. The word caregiver belongs to professionals. This is just fact. She starts to notice things, small things at first. The stove left on, not dangerously, just the back burner, low, after the tea was made. Her mother doesn't remember leaving it. She tells herself it was nothing. A question asked twice in the same evening. The same question, word for word, as if the first time never happened. She answers both times, without mentioning the first. And then the name. One evening, mid-conversation, her mother looks at her with complete recognition. The eyes are right, the warmth is right, and calls her by her aunt's name, her aunt who died in 2019. She says her own name, Jen, not correcting, offering. It's me, Mom. Her mother looks at her, nods, repeats the name back, and the conversation continues as though nothing happened. She calls the doctor. There's a referral. The referral leads to an assessment. The assessment produces a report. The report recommends a care plan. The care plan requires a coordinator. The coordinator has a 3-week wait. The gap between the day she first noticed and the day anyone official acknowledged what she was seeing, she was already doing the work. Driving the 40 minutes, 3 evenings a week, turning off the stove, answering the question she had already answered, saying the name. She was already a caregiver. Nobody called it that. There was no training, no handbook, no one who sat down with her and said, "Here is what is about to happen. Here is what you will need to know. Here is who to call when it gets harder. Here is how to ask for help." She is not a rare case. There are millions of people doing exactly what she is doing right now, this week. Driving the 40 minutes, turning off the stove, answering the question again. Families navigating the territory between everything is fine and we need to talk about what comes next, and finding that the territory has no map. No country has produced a map for this. No healthcare system built a bridge between the first moment of noticing and the first moment of being helped. That bridge is called family. That bridge is called family. It is called the 40 minutes drive. It is called the evening call. It is called the week you arrange your own schedule around someone else's needs. Didn't tell anyone at work. We plan for the events that have ceremonies. We plan for school. We plan for careers. We plan for weddings. We plan for retirement. Nobody holds a ceremony for the day you become the person your parent depends on. It doesn't arrive with a date. No invitation, no preparation. It was already underway long before you found the word for it. Long before anyone thought to ask how she was doing. The hardest part is not the logistics. It's not the doctor's appointments or the medication schedules or the 40-minute drive. The hardest part is the moment you realize the relationship has changed direction. You are still the child. Something in the structure of care, who needs it, who provides it, has quietly reversed. And there was no moment when you agreed to do that. No conversation, no decision. It just became true. One ordinary Tuesday, it became true. She still drives the 40 minutes, 3 evenings a week. There is a diagnosis now. There is a care plan. There is a coordinator. The word exists now. But the work was already happening long before the word arrived, long before anyone thought to ask how she was doing. She still parks in the same spot, the one that catches the shade in the morning. Same things you keep. Some things you keep. If you are the one driving the 40 minutes, if you are the one who turned off the stove and didn't say anything, if you are somewhere in the territory between everything is fine and a word that has not arrived yet, you are not alone in this. Millions of families are in that territory right now, without a map, without anyone who sat down and said, here's what is about to happen. You're not alone in this. This podcast is called What We Never Planned. It's about the things that happen when care arrives before we were ready for it. I am Anand Chaturvedi.